flip phones?
Well, they weren't flip phones. They were like they kind of were like these old primitive versions of like smartphones, like the birth of smartphones. But that's when I met Ted Price and got to work on Ratchet and Clank.
Cool.
So that was like, wow, you know what? We're all kind of going towards this as a goal. You know, it's going to eventually, you know, take off. Which also made me feel like a little bit of a Nintendo trader because I was like such a Nintendo fanboy. Still am, but yeah. But then I started doing these mobile games, and so Ratchet won Best Mobile Game 2005. And then after a while, I just kind of started wanting to get back to the console stuff. So after a stint in MMOs, I went and started TikTok. That's my entire history. Yeah, I actually did.
How short was that? If you just
2 years. I did a 2-year stint with some kids' virtual worlds, which was fun. But yeah, that's not where my heart was. But I did kind of like learning the stuff about. MMOs have great community management. You can learn a lot from people who like what people really like about your games by having that experience, which gave me a leg up on a lot of the social pieces. But it's just about managing time too, having time to actually do the community management stuff. But hopefully somebody will get hired very soon to help do that.
Yeah, it's hard to like remember that make a game you actually kind of need to like support it with community and keeping like it would be nice if like you could just make a game and like get it good and then just push it away and like things work.
It used to be like that,
It doesn't seem like it's the case anymore because everyone's making games now. So.
Yeah, and then when you do something like a Kickstarted game, like when we Kickstarted Pip,
True.
You have so many people that got invested in your game, and that's where we met Charles in Weekly Reviews, and they become your family, and you want to make sure that you're taking care of, kind of what. So close. You kind of want to take care of them first, and in some cases you get rushed and you end up launching something a little bit too early, and then you're like, oh man, we should have given the community first look at that, and so I mean it's been a whole learning experience in that sense too. But we met some really great people, and they're always giving us the nudge reminder to like, hey, don't forget this.
Yeah, don't forget about this.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the best thing is your community starts to manage each other after a while. They're like, oh, I talked to Sharif, and this is kind of what they're thinking here. So
I think I've talked to Sharif once.
Yeah, you might have.
I may have too.
If you see villagers hiding inside of the environments, some of them are actually our Kickstarter backers. So
cool.
That one that we just passed up there was actually Goldie Way's daughter, the CEO of Way Forward Technologies' daughter. So he wanted her in the game, so we put her in there.
Awesome.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the whole family's in the game. It's super cute.
Are they all in one level, or are they just sort of scattered?
It would make sense if they were all in one level, but once you rescue them all, they all end up in the same spot in the village.
Nice.
So
go rescue them. Buy the game.
Help them find each other. These people need your help.
We also never mentioned, I guess, what your role in teams is on TikTok and on those previous games. Were you like producer? You said?
Yeah, I was the producer on Shantae, and I mean for this project, really the team. It was really the team that really managed everything. The design. I felt like I was cheerleader. Like I don't think I really had a role per se on this project. Like, I'd done level design in the past. I'd done production in the past. I'd done even programming in the past. Some glue work and art in the past. But like, this is really like them all coming together and kind of putting together this really beautiful game. and like we had really talented level designer too, Kyle, who just came in here and did some really great work. It's really evident in the later levels when you get past the forest section, go into the caves and the lava levels. There's some really amazing challenges that he put in there, and some really clever level design. So, and he was also in Shantae and the Pirate's Curse too, and Jeff Luke, who helped with the level design direction too.
You do not need to go back. You've already gotten the villagers.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to go back and get the villagers. That'd be pretty unforgiving.
Yeah, that once you collect a villager, you've collected them. You do not need to go back. So you're doing great. Don't worry about it.
Weekly reviews. Someone's pretty happy that you're the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's good to have a cheerleader.
You know, every team needs a cheerleader. You know, so. Yeah, I think I was reduced to getting pizza at some point and said, "Hey, why don't you just go get us some pizzas? We got this." Okay. But you know, after you've done so many of these games, you know, you want to encourage nudge, but you don't want to take
We got it,
the
Dad,
vision away
okay?
from the team. Yeah.
Let me do my own thing.
Well, it's true. Like you don't ever want to.
That was actually said not completely ironically, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was meant to be ironic.
So yeah, you want the team to have a sense of ownership over the project. You don't want to be this voice that just kind of barrels down on him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they did an incredible job. Mark with the concept, Kathy with the direction, and Garth with really owning the controls and really making sure it all happens. So I could just ramble on and on and on.
Were these all people? I'm sorry, I don't actually recognize all the names, but were they all people that you sort of picked up just along the way and like?
Yeah, they're
working in the industry.
Some were industry people. Some were just interesting stories, like
Garth.
Well, yeah. I mean,
is that one that we can hear? Or?
Well, he so like when I first heard about Garth, he was like 17, and
wow.
That was like,
okay.
That was a long time ago. He's like now in his 30s, but he was like this brilliant like math kid that programmed games, and then he went to Berkeley, and after he went to Berkeley, he vanished. And we found out.
How did you hear about him when he was 17?
This girl that used to hang out at a coffee shop downstairs from the office.
Wow.
Like, I think she was dating him at the time, and she told us all about him, and we were like, wow, cool. Let's see what he could do. And I think we gave him a programming test, and he passed it. But then he went to Berkeley, and then he vanished, like literally vanished. We didn't know what happened to him. And then when I was looking for engineers to work with me in the new company, I just kind of put out a post on Facebook. I was like, hey, I'm looking for programmers. If anybody knows anybody looking for work, let me know. And she remained friends with me over the course of all this time, 20 years or something. She was posting it, and he replied. And I was like, no
super
way,
bizarre.
that's so weird. It's the kid.
Like a full circle of somehow 15 years difference or something.
Yeah, but it turns out when he vanished, he actually became a fisherman in Alaska. I was like,
seems
what?
like an interesting guy.
You know, he was fascinating. Well, you met him. He was one of the three of us in the PAX. He was not the super tall one. He was the shorter one, and not the shortest one, which is I am the shortest.
I'm struggling to remember, but I think I remember.
How
can I describe him? Is like
Garth?
sideburns of some sort?
No, Jeff Lucas, Mr. Sideburns. Garth is he's got great hair. He's half Korean and half white. I don't know. He's really nice, smart guy. Girls think he's cute, but I don't know how to explain it. That's the best way I could explain Garth. I'll show you a picture of him after this. You'll remember him. He's fun.
Hopefully.
And then Mark is like super tall. But I hired Mark at Way Forward at that QA role, and then and he just kept growing and growing and growing, and watching him throughout his career, seeing him what he could do with design and art direction. I was like, wow, we really need this guy on my team. So hired him right away. Kathy, who worked with me at Disney, just like one of the best like director types that you can ever work with. So got really lucky, and she left Disney to actually join the team, which made me super happy. Maybe not Disney so happy. And then
Disney has people.
Disney has lots of people. My wife works for Disney, so they can have
they can have some of your people.
Some of my people, but not all. And then let's see, who else? Oh, Jeff, I just heard of like before he actually joined the team. He was like, there was this group called the Up Dogs in Way Forward, which I actually thought all of them were really, really amazing designer types, like, so like that was like Mark Bozon, Sean Velasquez, who does Yacht Club, the Mark Gomez guy was one of them, Cole Phillips, who's like one of the most underrated designers probably in the world. Well, that's a bold statement, but he's a really underrated designer. He's awesome. And Jeff was one of them, and I kept on thinking, I gotta meet these other guys that I don't know that are in this little group. And so I met Jeff, and I just hearing him talk about games, like he had all the right DNA, for a really great game director. So, and he had worked on Scribblenauts and Drawn to Life, and I was like, wow, he's been around. He's got a great pedigree too. Yeah. So, and then when he finished Shantae Half Genie Hero, he reached out to me and we started talking, and I was like, yeah, if you guys are ready to try something new, and so we talked to the Way Forward guys, and everything kind of transitioned very smoothly.
Was there anything that precipitated you wanting to form your own company? Was it just something you wanted to do for a while?
Oh, I wanted to rage quit my last job so bad. Like, it was, I had, that's the God's honest truth.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the game industry.
I could say it now,
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was a good experience, but it was very corporate, It was very, very corporate, that last job. So it was so painful that I wanted to go completely different direction. So at first I thought about going back to Way Forward, because that was the feeling I wanted. Again, just kind of like a bunch of people just coming together and thinking about great game ideas, and then just building it in rapid iterations. What ended up happening was I started my own company instead. I made my own version of it, because you go backwards, it's not right. You have to always
you have to keep on doing new things.
Keep evolving.
Yeah.
I have a game.
Topical.
There we go. So, yeah. So that'd be like, you actually joining a corporate job after you become like a PAX 10 guy, Now you got.
Oh boy.
Now you've already set the bar so high for yourself. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to start your own company out the gate.
Well, I actually did.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, like, it's a bizarre situation where simultaneously with Fromlight, which Alejandro still wants me to work on, there's this other thing called Sundown, which we did over the summer. So there's things that I need to figure out still.
So tell us, what are you gonna do next then?
Well, what do you mean?
Interview, I love it.
So, yeah, just swapping it on me.
Are you finishing up from Light? Is there new projects on the horizon for you?
Yeah, so we really want to finish that up, just because what we had was like a really cool concept, and it was executed not to sellable quality, at least in my opinion. So we want to just polish it back up and maybe make it as nice as this, if that's even possible for us to do.
Oh, you'll be able to do it. we could help you too if you guys need backup or just extra eyes playing. Just let me know. We're happy to help, because I really think Fromlight has so much potential.
It's also just it's so hard making a game during school because everyone's at school. You're right.
I'm working on fixing this bug, and I got term paper due.
Yeah, right. It's
I want to
just juggling all of your different priorities.
I want to say that the Insomniac guys and the Naughty Dog guys